The rise of Jordan Peterson is baffling to me, to be honest. I think the guy is a right-wing snake and a con man, but he is not really relevant to my channel, and I was not ever planning on talking about him. Peterson made himself relevant when he implied that he supported circumcision of baby boys, though. Let's listen to Peterson's own words, shall we?
And God said unto Abraham, Thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore, thou and thy seed after thee in their generations. This is my covenant which ye shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. Every man-child among you shall be circumcised. That's a mystery there. Like, why that particular rite? What's dramatic? I mean, it's certainly...
Yes, baby knife rape is very dramatic. That is a vast understatement.
It certainly affects a man where he's most concerned to be affected. There's something like that. And so it's a sacrifice that has a certain, I would say, a certain degree of unforgettability. That would be the first thing. And a certain degree of pain and threat that goes along with it. So it's not nothing.
It would be extremely painful.
That's the thing. Now, you can argue, and I think there is an argument, a case to be made about whether or not in the modern world circumcision is is something reasonable to inflict on infants. I don't want to have that conversation at all.
Anyway, let's listen to this part again. Peterson implies that circumcision was valid in the past.
That's the thing. Now, you can argue, and I think there is an argument, a case to be made about whether or not in the modern world circumcision is something reasonable to inflict on infants.
Peterson stumbles with his words here, like a person who is not comfortable saying what he really thinks. I am paraphrasing, because Peterson stumbles with his words so badly, but he says he thinks there is an argument and a case to be made about whether or not inflicting circumcision on a child in the modern world is a reasonable thing to do. Peterson, using the qualifier "the modern world," is him heavily implying that circumcision was valid in the past. If Peterson does believe this, why does he believe circumcision was valid in the past? Peterson loves to waffle on about Jungian archetypes all the time, and he seems to like implying that we should indulge irrational behaviors based on the fact humans need to do so as an outlet. I do not want to get drawn into a pointless religious debate. If Peterson wants to imply that we still need religion due to the irrational aspects of humankind, that is one thing. To imply that circumcision was valid due to the irrational aspects of human nature, that is another thing. Circumcision was never valid. Just because it was done in the past doesn't make it a valid tradition. Slavery, witch burning and child marriage are old traditions too. Did that make them valid in the past as well? If Peterson implies that circumcision was valid in the past, and is not prepared to condemn it, it is highly likely that Peterson supports circumcision. Even if I am being extremely generous and assume that Peterson is against circumcision, he should be condemned for not condemning the practice. Him avoiding condemning the practice is very cowardly. We can't tolerate fence-sitters and enablers. Silence is violence when it comes to the issue of baby knife rape.